I'm here at BookExpo America with Ron Janson, author of Red Money. So Red Money tells the story of the Russian mob in the late 1970s and early 1980s. How is Red Money different from other mob books on the market?
I think the major difference which makes the story unique is the central theme. Most of the mob-related stories and movies, etc., that I'm familiar with center around the mob itself, either a mob family, a group of mobsters, or individual mob members. What makes Red Money unique is that it's really focused on two very small and tight-knit families who get impacted by the mob in a very negative way and then decide to do something about it. These people are really the main characters in the story as opposed to the members of the mob itself. Another point that I tried to bring into the story was the emphasis on the money aspects of the mob activities and the money laundering particularly that goes on. Most of the mob stories don't get too into this. Obviously the sequels to The Godfather do, in terms of their operations. But the title kind of indicates one of the central themes of the book, which is the money that is generated by these illicit activities and some of the kind of bad and evil things that happens with that.
So how much research was involved in making Red Money as believable as possible?
It really didn't take a lot. Most of the research centered about getting some knowledge about the Russian mob as it started into prominence during that time period that the book takes place. Basic background material, some of the locations obviously, which I've been to with some of them, and some of the aspects about the rise of the drug trafficking during this period of time. But it's not a heavily researched book. I'm not a heavy researcher. I try to spend my time on developing a compelling story, the characters, some human emotion, and then the action scenes.
How did you make the leap from writing a nonfiction business book to writing a fictional mob novel?
Not easily. This is really a different world in fiction. Professional writing, which I had done a lot of, particularly over the last 15 years or so, is more factual based, and it's really a different style of writing. It goes for a different audience, and it's quite a change. The one aspect that came into play here, particularly in developing this story, was that the major nonfiction book that I wrote was written as a story, and I actually found that to really be the fun part of it, which was one of the things that led me into writing fiction. But it truly is a different world. The whole issue of developing characters, learning how to write from point of view, which our editor at Sterling House has been very instrumental in helping me with, is really a unique difference. So it is quite different.
And what is the writing process like for you? I'm sorry, hold on. Let me cut that because I skipped a question. Let me go back. Are you planning on publishing another book? And if so, will it be another thriller?
Yeah, I do have another book that we have an arrangement for with Sterling House. This one is more of a whodunit mystery. It takes place on the eastern Connecticut shoreline, where I happen to have a summer home. And this one has been submitted. It's now in the process of being edited. Hope to have that done fairly shortly. And that title, What Is Hers, is scheduled for release in 2009. I have also started a third novel, which will be a sequel to the second one. That's also going to take place in the same location, and that's roughly 20% done, and I anticipate having that done by the end of this year.
And what is the writing process like for you?
Well, my style is to know about as much as where I'm going and what the end point is going to be as I possibly can. I don't always have that worked out perfectly. Red Money was a good example of that. I kind of knew how it was going to end, but I didn't have the precise ending worked out. But I at least had a pretty good idea where I was going. I tend to outline in segments. I found it almost impossible for me to outline an entire book and then write it. So I'll do major sections of the book, do an outline, and then go through the writing, and then attack the next section and kind of repeat that process until we're done.
Well, thanks for the interview, Ron, and congratulations on Red Money.
Well, thank you very much, Lisa.